64th annual convention meet, NDTV's Tushar Deep Singh caught up with Executive Director of Tata Motors Girish Wagh for an overview of the commercial vehicle industry, the company's picture and its future outlook. Listen to that.
When we entered this financial year, the outlook for Q1 was going to be muted volumes, because that's how one has seen in the previous general elections also. But to our surprise, actually the industry volume grew by 2%, although it was marginal, but it grew by 2% YOY. Post that, in July and August, I think the country has witnessed very heavy rains, and it is also a seasonal reduction in mining activity, infrastructure projects, etc. But what we saw was, I think the fleet utilization went down, the truck utilization had gone down, and as a result, it started impacting on the volumes. Mm-hmm. But if you see a segmental cut, despite all this, I think the buses and van category segment seems to be growing. It has grown at around 23% YOY. Intermediate light medium commercial vehicles has grown by around 5%. The small commercial vehicles has actually declined by 5% YOY till end of August. Mm-hmm. And heavy commercial vehicles has declined by around 13%. But as you rightly mentioned, have we bottomed out? So, there are some green shoots, I must say, in the month of September. We have some internal metrics like tracking the number of kilometers a truck is running per day, mm-hmm. which is a very lead metric. And we see that there is already a growth happening in the first few days of September. Mm-hmm. We also have the festive season coming up. And I think with good rains, there will be revival in rural economy also. With this, we expect, I think the demand should now pick up. Mm-hmm. Now, last year, second half for commercial vehicles was a bit muted, mm-hmm. and therefore I personally expect second half of this year should be some, there should be some growth, and I'll be very happy to see the industry ending flat, mm-hmm. as compared to the previous year.
Yeah. So you also mentioned about growth pockets, and which is very interesting. So you're seeing somewhere like the light commercial vehicle is not growing, heavy commercial vehicles is not growing, but somewhere in the middle things are growing. So how do you explain that trend? What is the trend looking like in that sense?
So this is more due to their end-use segments and how they are functioning. So intermediate light medium commercial vehicles, for example, has been growing mainly due to e-commerce, mm-hmm. and manufactured goods. Mm-hmm. So if you see our industrial index of production, is actually doing well. So that is reflecting in this segment. Buses and vans, I would say that 2 years back in COVID, they have declined to such an extent that now they have started coming back. People mobility has increased. Mm-hmm. Schools are working. People are going to offices. So I think with this, the buses and vans are doing well. Heavy commercial vehicles very directly linked to infrastructure, mining, long distance, heavy haulage, and that's something which should come back, I expect.
So essentially because of the monsoon, you're saying that
yes.
The activity reduced, and
yes.
the uptake of sales also didn't happen.
Yes.
Let's come to Tata Motors a bit. How are you faring in terms of, say, sustainability? That's what the theme of this year's yes. convention is. How is the uptake of electric trucks, so to speak? Do you think, say for example, the target is 30% for the entire space by 2030. Do you think that the trucking business will achieve that kind of electric penetration by 2030? How far is the electrification for the trucking business?
Right. So I think, even zero emission transition in trucking, mm-hmm. or commercial vehicles is going to happen through natural gas as a fuel. Mm-hmm. So one has already started seeing, penetration in compressed natural gas and then liquefied natural gas in heavy vehicles. Now, as far as electrification is concerned, we have seen two segments taking the lead. One is buses, wherein we have taken the lead in terms of participation in the CSL tenders. We are now more than 3,000 buses running on road, mm-hmm. with cumulative more than 200 million kilometers that we have run. We have also more than 5,000 ACE electric vehicles in small commercial vehicles running on road in multiple applications, whether it is retail customers or goods transport distribution for FMCG, e-commerce, mm-hmm. or even municipal applications. Mm-hmm. So these 5,000 ACVs have covered more than 43 million kilometers. I think mm-hmm. we have very good experience under the belt. Mm-hmm. I think in all this movement, mm-hmm. the government support in terms of FAME as a demand side incentive and PLI as a supply side incentive has been very, very instrumental. And FAME has taken a break after FAME 2 sunset. We expect FAME 3 to come soon, and we are also requesting the government.
You expecting the outlay for the FAME for CV to increase in FAME 3? Wider option?
I would certainly expect that. See, I think FAME today is supporting small commercial vehicles and buses. We are requesting the government to look at even private buses as also N2 and N3 category of trucks, which will also help electrification in those segments.
All right.